Hey everyone, and welcome. You know that feeling when you're about to throw out some coffee grounds or eggshells and you think, is there something else I could do with this? Well, in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you how that so-called waste is actually garden gold. It's a powerful, all-natural plant food you can make for free. So let's get into it.
Really think about that for a second. What if the secret to a super healthy, thriving garden isn't in some plastic bottle you buy at the store, but it's right there in your kitchen bin? Well, I'm here to tell you it is. Let's figure out how to unlock all that amazing potential.
Okay, so to create the perfect plant food, we first have to understand what our plants are actually hungry for. Because, just like us, they need the right kind of diet to grow up strong and healthy. Think about it like this. Just like we need our vitamins and minerals to feel good, plants rely on a specific set of nutrients they pull from the soil to survive and really flourish. Without these key elements, they just can't build leaves or grow strong roots or produce those beautiful flowers we all love.
It pretty much boils down to three main nutrients, what gardeners call NPK. So, nitrogen is all about getting those lush green leaves. Phosphorus helps produce beautiful flowers and fruits. And potassium? That gives the plant its overall strength, helping it fight off stress and disease. Getting this balance right is the real secret.
So where in the world do we find these essential nutrients? Well, the good news is you really don't have to look very far. Let's head into the kitchen, because some of the most common things you throw away are actually plant superfoods.
First up, please, whatever you do, don't throw out those used coffee grounds. They are absolutely packed with nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. You can just work them right into the soil around your plants, especially acid-loving ones, for a fantastic little nutrient boost.
And eggshells? They're a total powerhouse of calcium. It's so simple to make a liquid fertilizer. You just crush them up, let them soak in water for about a week, and then use that water on your plants. It's such a fantastic and easy way to give them a nutrient they absolutely crave.
Now, this is really important to remember. Not all kitchen scraps do the same thing. Coffee grounds will actually make your soil more acidic, which is perfect for plants like roses or blueberries. Eggshells do the exact opposite. They make it more alkaline. Knowing this lets you tailor your fertilizer to exactly what each of your different plants needs.
Banana peels are another incredible one. They're an amazing source of potassium. But, you can have too much of a good thing. A really good rule of thumb is to use about 100 grams of chopped up peel per plant and just work it directly into the soil. That way you don't overload it.
Okay, let's move out of the kitchen and into the backyard. We're going to see how we can transform yard trimmings and other organic waste into what so many gardeners call black gold.
I'm talking about compost. This is the ultimate recycling project for any gardener. Seriously. Composting is just the process of letting organic stuff like grass clippings, leaves, and kitchen scraps decompose into this incredibly rich, nutrient-dense soil amendment. It's pretty much considered the best natural fertilizer you can get.
Now, composting isn't an overnight thing, but it is super straightforward. You just start a pile with your greens and browns, you give it a turn every few months to add some oxygen, and then in less than a year, all that waste transforms into dark, rich soil that's ready for your garden. Here's one you might not expect: the ash from untreated burnt wood in your fireplace. Yep, that's fertilizer. It's a fantastic organic source of minerals and potash, which is basically a form of potassium. Plants like roses go crazy for it, but just remember, a little goes a very long way.
All right, now before you run out and start throwing everything on your plants, there are some very, very important rules to follow. Knowing what to avoid is honestly just as critical as knowing what to use.
So for a really successful compost pile, you've got to stick to plant-based materials, things like kitchen scraps, grass, and leaves. You absolutely want to keep out any meat, dairy, fats, or cooked foods. Those will only attract pests and, trust me, create some really nasty smells.
Okay, let's just bust a common garden myth I see online all the time. You might see tips telling you to use baking soda, but no. It is completely unsuitable as a fertilizer. The really high sodium content can actually dehydrate and kill your plants. So do yourself a favor and keep the baking soda in the kitchen. And remember that wood ash we talked about? Moderation is absolutely key. The rule is to use no more than 2 or 3 liters across a large garden bed. We're talking about 10 square meters, and only apply it once a year. A little bit goes a very, very long way.
Look, it's really important to approach homemade fertilizer with a bit of common sense. You don't know the exact nutrient levels, right? So you should always start small and see how your plants react. Try to use organic scraps whenever you can to avoid pesticides. And definitely keep these concoctions outdoors because they can get a little moldy and smelly inside.
So there you have it. You now have the playbook for turning waste into wonder. Let's just quickly recap the amazing benefits you unlock when you start creating your very own garden gold.
This is about so much more than just free fertilizer. You're saving money, you're reducing landfill waste, and you're protecting our waterways from chemical runoff. But most importantly, you're building healthier soil and taking full control over what goes into your garden, and maybe even onto your family's table.
So from now on, when you brew a pot of coffee or peel a banana, don't just see it as trash, see it as a resource. The only question left is, what will you rescue from your bin today to build a more vibrant, beautiful garden?